Jennifer Jones, Religion in the School. Should religion be permitted in our schools, preferably middle schools? If so, which religion? Why do you pick that religion? When should this religion be permissible? In the morning, before the bell rings? Perhaps during lunch? Maybe after school, after dismissal? What makes this religion right? Because your supreme God died and mine didn't? Where does this religion begin? In the Garden of Eden? Who picks the religion to study? The teacher? The principal maybe? Or perhaps the superintendent? With questions like this being raised, the First Amendment was established. The two clauses in the First Amendment guarantee freedom of religion. The Establishment Clause prohibits the government from passing legislation to establish an official religion or preferring one religion over another. It enforces the separation of church and state. How the Supreme Court decides issues of religion and government. Over many years and many cases, mainly involving religion in public schools, the Supreme Court has developed 3 tests to be applied to religious practice for determining their constitutionality under the First Amendment Establishment Clause. The Lehman test, the endorsement test, coinsurgent test. So, what is okay for religion in a middle school? Allowing a Christmas party to take place? Or maybe saying a prayer after a basketball game? Or is it okay for an administrator to lead the graduating class in the Lord's Prayer? Parties and celebrations are okay in any setting. As professional educators, we have to be careful in what we title them. Titling a party Christmas party could be offensive to some of your students if they are not Christians. Teachers have to be careful and not to violate the Lehman test when allowing certain activities to take place. The Lehman test is still used by the court today to determine whether or not the law meets constitutional musters. In order for any law to satisfy the First Amendment, it must have some secular or non-religious legal purpose, must neither promote or inhibit the practice of religion, and must foster an excessive government entanglement with religion. Allowing prayer after a basketball game is permissible. However, it has to be led by a player. Teachers/coaches cannot assume that every player or student is a Christian. Enforcing your beliefs onto your student is in violation of the endorsement test. The endorsement test examines to see if it unconstitutionally endorses religion by conveying a message that religion is favored, preferred or promoted over other beliefs. An administrator should never lead the Lord's Prayer in a commencement ceremony. Administration should never assume 100% of their graduates are Christian. If an administrator proceeds in leading the Lord's Prayer, he or she just violated the coercion test. The coercion test is determined if religion practice is examined to see to what extent, if any, pressure is applied to force or coerce any individuals to participate. The court has defined that unconstitutional coercion occurs when the government directs a formal religion exercise in such a way as to oblige the participation of objectors. General rules. Public schools may not teach religion, although teaching about religion in a secular context is permitted. The Bible may be taught in a school, but only for its historical, cultural, or literary values, and never in a devotional, celebratorial, or doctrine manner, or in such a way that encourages acceptance of the Bible as a religious document. How to teach religion. Religion may be presented as part of a secular educational program. Programs that teach about religion are geared towards teaching students about the role of religion in the historical, culture, literary, and social development of the United States and other nations. These programs should instill understanding, tolerance, and respect for a pluralistic society. When discussing religion in this context, religion must be discussed in a neutral, objective, balanced, and factual manner. Such programs should educate students about the principles of religion, liberty, as one of the fundamental elements of freedom and democracy in the United States. As educators, we must work diligently in keeping our rooms as well as our school buildings free from religion. It's not our job to force our religion preference onto our students. However, it's our duty to provide for every student a safe and physical environment for their learning. As educators, we have to question if this statement or artifact is offensive, then we should not use it. Educators should work not to violate any of the Core 3 tests in educating the next generation. Teaching can be hard when avoiding legal issues, but if we stay within our boundaries, nothing can deter us from what we love, which is teaching. Here are my references that I did my research from. I had 4 references.